I never thought that basketball can be a job for me, something that I always wanted as a kid, something that I dreamed of, but 6'2", ranked like 350 plus in just Chicago area. Never thought that I'd be able to sit here having this interview about being an all-star and being in the NBA. So I think, and also knowing at that time, it was doubt in my mind. Should I keep playing? What am I going to do post, high school? What college am I going to go to? And now to sit here and say that I've made it, I think he'll be very proud.
Now, because you mentioned that, I read that when you joined the Mean Streets AAU program, you thought about quitting, hanging it up, walking away. Could you even imagine your life without basketball now?
No, not at all. It's everything to me. I think at that point, being at the school I was at, not known for athletics, and to be able to go to a team where everybody on their team was the best high school player on their team. And it was at respected schools. And so for me to be at a school that wasn't respected for athletics and to go to this, travel team and thinking I was that guy because the school I was at, I was like God to them people because they never seen one, play basketball like that before, and I go to this AU team and I wasn't the best player. I was like the bottom half and I was like, wait, hold on. This isn't right. And so I started questioning myself and thought, was this really for me?
Has this made you reflect on your entire journey being a South Side kid to start? Now you're coming back 26 years old. You're on the best team in the Western Conference, the Los Angeles Lakers. Has it made you think about your entire journey?
Yeah, I think I got a unique journey. I think a lot of kids when they're 13, 14, 15, 16, get a lot of hype around them. And it kind of can get to them, as they go to college and start in the league because they're always around cameras. For me, it starts in my junior year. I was 17 years old, and I think it kind of helped me in a way, just because of the fact that I wasn't under so much pressure at an early age. I didn't have the cameras on me and the media around me at such a young age, so I didn't have to perform well. And if I didn't, it will eat. They could eat a kid up inside. All the pressure. And so I kind of just helped my journey, and I think it's something that's unique that a lot of kids don't get a chance to go through. We're seeing it now, with LeBron's kid, with Bronny, But like I told LeBron a while ago, I said it's unique to have a guy like. Have a dad like you because you've been through it all, positive, negative, like people always criticizing you and, the stuff that you learn now, you can, instill in Bronny and it's going to make him a better person, better player. And he can just focus on, being a high school kid, as Bron say. So I think my journey is very unique and I think it definitely helped me get to where I am today.
It's certainly not a father-son dynamic at all, perhaps brother-brother with you and LeBron, but how has playing alongside him helped you raise your game?
Just knowing that every time you go on the floor, you're playing for something. Anytime you go on the floor, you're going to get the team's best shot. Like people say, the Lakers are not that good. They're in games that they shouldn't be in, but when this team, that everybody wants to beat, you have a target on your back, you're going to get every team's best shot. And so we find ourselves in those situations a lot, especially on the road. And, learning that aspect of the game, from him and how he approaches the game, I used to be so upset and so, down, when we lose a game. And he's like, man, I didn't lose, in-season series to several teams. But when the playoffs comes, it's different. And I was able to experience that, 2 times. But for a guy who's done it year after year after year after year, 8 times in a row, he's like, I'm not. If he's not worrying, I'm like, all right, we're fine. But once he started getting a little upset, and I'm like, all right, it's something that we need to fix. But so I try to, lean on him as much as possible in those regards because he's been there, he's done this, and he's won multiple championships, and that's something I want to do.
Were you craving that kind of pressure for a while? Because I read that when you were in high school, your high school didn't even have its own gym.
Yeah.
you rarely had a lot of fans in the stands.
Yep.
Didn't even have a cheerleading team or anything
Yep.
like that. Playing for the Lakers, being the marquee team in the entire NBA, is that something that part of you wanted to have for a long time?
I think so. I mean, I think it, not even just like just being in a situation where I can win, and I think it kind of solidifies the player that I am. I think a lot of people say they know who I was, they saw what I was doing in New Orleans, but we didn't have that many TV games, so they were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So people like, oh, I know he is, but is he really a good player? We don't really know how he performs under pressure. And so being in a situation, I think it kind of helps my case. Like, okay, well, doing the same thing he was doing in New Orleans, he's on a winning team, and I think it helps my case more. And, that's something that I wanted. I wanted to be under that pressure to see for myself, like, can I handle that?
Yeah.
Can I handle being under the big lights and staples, getting every team's best shot, being criticized. Like, can I handle that? And me personally, I think I've been doing a great job of it.
I figure you're going to say that. How about 95, 96 Bulls with Scottie, Michael, Rodman, or 71, 72 Lakers, Wilt, Jerry West, Gil Goodrich?
Well, I'm going to go 95, 96 Bulls because I don't really know. I never watched.
That Lakers team won 69 games,
yeah,
33 wins in a row.
Yeah, but like you said, this goes back to being a Chicago guy and hearing my parents, really my pops and his little crew, his friends talk about the Bulls and Jordan. So, I got a chance to kind of live in that without actually seeing them.
What's your role on the Lakers?
My role is to be a leader, be a leader alongside LeBron and help this team, get as many wins and try to reach our goal, which is to win the championship. We have a lot of work to do. I have to make sure I lead by example. On the floor, my role starts with, being the defensive anchor. And when I'm on the floor, get everyone talking, make sure I'm talking. I try not to, the offense I like to take care of itself, but the times where you see me upset, when everyone was asking me last night, like, AD, what's wrong with you? It was because of defense. I look back at we just played some game, I can't remember. Houston. And I think they scored 30 in every quarter. And it was just like, I was frustrated, because I know this is the type of defensive team we can be. I take pride in defense, and, I want the other guys to take pride on defense. I said it about Bron, I want him to be, on all defensive team, and that's where I start every game, on the defensive end. Like, our offense might not be clicking, we can't control the ball going to the basket, but we control our energy and effort on the defensive end. And so, anytime you see me frustrated on a bench or with this look on my face, it's probably because of defense. I want us to be a great defensive team.
Lakers. Pressure is the word today, and no other player has had or overachieved like LeBron James did over his NBA career. Go ahead, Max.
You tripping. Go ahead, Max.
LeBron's not going to pass Jordan in the way we mean greatest, in the way we mean GOAT. When we say GOAT in any sport, we're not talking about counting numbers. We're not talking about, a cumulative career. This guy has accomplished the most. Not really. We're talking about among the players who sustained a peak level for a good amount of time, who hit the highest peak. If you're talking career, then in the modern era, LeBron probably already passed Kareem as an NBA player, if you discount college for Kareem. Probably LeBron's already the career GOAT. It's either him or Kareem. That's why Jordan's fifth on the scoring list, because Jordan took time off. Because Jordan took those 2 years off. Because he did go to college and all that. His NBA career wasn't as long as Kareem's or LeBron's. Although, yeah, Jordan couldn't handle pressure. Although Jordan played and when he was 40 and averaged 20 points a game when he was 40 years old. But we're talking about peak. And guys, there's any way you want to slice it, Jordan got this. In terms of statistics, in terms of anecdotal stuff, in terms of the impression he left, Jordan left an impression on his contemporary audiences unlike anyone in any sport ever. That's why he's the #1 athlete, either him or Muhammad Ali, who ever lived on the planet Earth. That's the kind of impression he left when your eyes were on him. In terms of the statistics, he's the all-time scoring leader per game, including Wilt Chamberlain and everyone. PER, guys, is a fancy way of saying they take all the stats you like, points, rebounds, assists, steals, offensive, defensive rebounds, everything you want, and they put it in a weighted average because some things are worth more than others. Guess who the career PER leader is? Michael Jordan. That includes that when he fell off when he was 40 years old with the Wizards and averaged 20 points a game. He's the scoring leader all time per season and the PER leader, meaning offensively, not only was he more prolific than LeBron, he was more efficient doing it. Now, defensively, Stephen A said it, 9-time all-first-team defense and the defensive player of the year, so he's better defensively. There's only offense and defense, guys. There's nothing else. Jordan was better at both at his peak than LeBron. Oh, there is stuff, other stuff. It's how you lead and all the stuff and the pressure you talk about and all that stuff. Perk, okay. Michael Jordan, the first time he played with a single other All-Star, took the defending champion Pistons 7 games, lost because Pippen had a migraine, played 40 minutes, scored 2 points. So in other words, Jordan didn't have an All-Star. The next year, Pippen was in his prime. So now Jordan had a crew. He went 6-4-6 in the finals. No one ever even took him 7 games. So what do you want? You want offense, you want defense, you want stats, you want the impression he left on contemporary audiences, you want championships, you want playing under pressure. What do you want? Jordan's the greatest who ever did it. LeBron, unless he gets better than he already is, that ship has sailed.
First of all, a couple of things. Number one, at the age of 38, 39, after a 3-year hiatus, Jordan averaged over 20. But we ain't going to bring up his career with the Washington Wizards because that's really irrelevant. It's really about the first 13 years of his career as a Chicago Bull. Kendrick Perkins, I understand you came into the league in 2003. I'm not talking about individual players being soft. I'm talking about the league and the rules that were implemented that made the game soft. I would never sit up there and call any player soft or anything like that. I wouldn't call you nor anybody else. Y'all on an elite level. Y'all are the best players in the world. I would never disrespect players like that. I'm talking about the game itself. The way it was called, the way dudes were restricted, it doesn't even compare to what existed in the 90s and the 80s. Don't even get me started with that. Oh, by the way, in the midst of all of that, Kendrick Perkins, LeBron James played all 82 games in his career at 6'9", 260 in a softest putty league compared to previous generations. He played 82 games one time. Jordan played it 5 times, all 82 games in his 13-year career with the Chicago Bulls. I ain't bring up, additionally after that with the Wizards, the 5 times he played all 82 games. One time he played 82 games, 81 games. Another time he played 80 games. That stuff matters. He's averaged more career points. The shooting percentage is about the same. He was an elite defender, and here's the biggest thing. LeBron is universally respected. Respected. Jordan was universally feared. He scared the living hell out of people. And who did he beat along the way? Beat Magic the first go-round. You know how you feel about Magic, KP. He beat Magic the first go-round. Beat Drexler the second go-round. Beat Barkley the third go-round. Beat Gary Payton and Gary Payton and Sean Kemp before he became Sean Clump. Beat Stockton and Malone twice. And oh, by the way, prevented Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing and those boys from winning championships. Remember the Cleveland Cavaliers from years ago when they had Craig Elo, Mark Price, Larry Nance, Matt Doherty, and those boys. Shut them down.
Don't forget
this
Shaq
brother
and
has
Penny,
ruined.
Stephen A.
Magic Johnson has. Michael Jordan has ruined dudes' chances to even get to the finals for crying out loud. That's how great Michael Jordan was.
Shaq
Don't
and
even get me
Penny,
started.
60-win team. Swept them.
I mean, but y'all sitting up here acting like LeBron James didn't have to go through Hall of Famers to win championships. He had to go through
while he was with Boston Wade?
He had to go through Kevin Garnett. He had to go through guys to win, a lot of players to win NBA championships.
I got you now. I got you now. I got you.
He had to go through a Russell
You
Westbrook
just lied.
and Kevin Durant.
You just lied.
And back then, the league
You
wasn't
just lied.
soft. In 03, from 03 to 2010,
You just lied.
the league wasn't soft, Stephen A. The
You
league
just
was
lied.
still physical.
Time out. Your team, Doc Rivers, your coach, said, quote, My starting five: Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Kendrick Perkins, KG. We don't lose when we're healthy. That's number one. And obviously, y'all were compromised. That's number one. Number two, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook were puppies.
That's part
were
of
puppies
it.
when he took them out. And that's after he
part of
joined
it.
D-Wade and Bosh. When he went against Dirk
That's part
Nowitzki
of it.
and Jason
That's part
Terry and
of it.
Jason Kidd, what happened? Come on now, Kendrick Perkins.